The world of Frank Herbert's Dune sports many great characters. The original novel alone has many characters besides Paul that are just incredible. Tuvi Howard, Duncan, Baron Harkonnen and his twisted mentor Peter de Vries are just a few examples. However, you don't often hear people say that the Baron's nephew Glossu Rabban is their favourite. Usually referred to as Beast Rabban, he is considered equally brutal as he is stupid. Let's have a look at a few clips from Dune adaptations.
Temporarily interrupting 80 years of Harkonnen rule and all the profits that go with it.
Well, how can we let this happen? How can the Emperor take everything we've built and give it to that Duke? How?
Don't be too sure it's an act of love.
What does he mean?
When is a gift not a gift?
But I think there's more to this character than that. His role in the novel is smaller than most of the other secondary characters, and next to him Peter and the Baron shine as duplicitous schemers. The latter clearly thinks Rabban is stupid, but I think that is unfair. So in this video I analyze the character of Rabban. What is his role in the story, what others think of him, what he truly is, and how it came to be that people have a distorted image of him. The Dune novel contains brief character biographies. The following is said about Rabban. Count Glossu Rabban, 10-132 to 10-193. Glossu Rabban, Count of Lankivel, was the eldest nephew of Vladimir Harkonnen. Glossu Rabban and Feyd-Rautha Rabban, who took the name Harkonnen when chosen for the Cividar Baron's household, were legal sons of the Cividar Baron's youngest demi-brother, Abulurd. Abulurd renounced the Harkonnen name and all rights to the title when given the sub-district governorship of Rabban Lankivel. Rabban is mentioned about a dozen times throughout the novel, but shows up in person in only one scene, starting on page 213, set just after the fall of House Atreides. The first reference to Rabban in the novel is made by Paul, who remembers the story of how Gurney received the inkvine scar on his jaw. However, the only time we actually meet Rabban in person is nearly halfway through the book when the Baron summons him. The Baron considers him with contempt. Besides being overweight, he refers to him as a muscle-minded tank brain and compares him unfavourably with Peter de Vries and Feyd-Rautha. Rabban does himself no favours by insinuating the Baron killed Peter, but the Baron states he will not kill a useful tool. Rabban recovers when he asks if the Emperor knows the Baron suborned Dr. Yue, a Suk doctor. The Baron considers this an insightful statement. As the Baron states he does not want to admit this to the Emperor, but instead wants to make up an excuse as to why Dr. Yue betrayed his Duke, it is Rabban who states that the matter must remain secret. After this, the conversation changes back to Rabban squeezing Arrakis for income. Rabban asks if he can keep the artillery that helped defeat the Atreides, but the Baron rejects this, stating the situation of their use against the Atreides was a one-time use. Yet Rabban states that the Fremen don't use shields and would thus be vulnerable to artillery, another clever insight. But things become weird when Rabban rebuffs the Baron's low estimate for the Fremen population and tells him of how the Sardaukar were ambushed and defeated. It is a to-the-point account intended to shock the Baron, not the ravings of somebody who is stupid. The Baron then instructs Rabban to collect hostages from the Houses Minor that have accompanied House Harkonnen to Arrakis, an instruction you do not give out to somebody who is stupid. However, the Baron then comes into disagreement with Rabban. Rabban still wants to exterminate the Fremen people and bring in new stock, which the Baron rebuffs and considers Rabban's proposal that of a stupid, brutish man. But Rabban was of course right. The Fremen are dangerous. It is just that his solution is unlikely to succeed. The chapter ends with the Baron reminding himself once more that Rabban is stupid, but it is clear he is conflating a lack of subtlety with stupidity. The Baron also considers the idea of replacing Rabban with Feyd-Rautha once Rabban is finished squeezing Arrakis, in the hope the locals will see Feyd as a hero. This becomes part of a larger plot after Tuvi Howard becomes involved. It is unclear how Rabban is killed in the novel. On page 430, Stilgar simply mentions he is dead. It leads me to believe he died in combat during the Battle of Arrakis with his Harkonnen troops and Sardaukar allies. It is interesting that the two Dune adaptations so far completed both show Rabban being beheaded. First, David Lynch's Dune shows his head in the Emperor's throne room as a trophy, and the miniseries shows him being beheaded by the Fremen in the Battle of Arrakis. Before his death, Rabban is only mentioned in passing, though one is interesting. On page 402, it states Rabban has made cautious overtures for a truce with the Fremen and its leader Muad'Dib, but that together with the lightening of the burden of those he rules, he is merely showing how weak his hand is. It does at least show he has some intelligence. This attempt is also a flagrant violation of the Baron's orders. Rabban, by this time, must sense that the Baron's plans of replacing him with Feyd-Rautha. This much is confirmed by a message intercepted by Paul from the Baron to Rabban sometime earlier. Other than that, Rabban is only mentioned by Gurney, who has a personal score to settle with Rabban after his family was murdered. Without a doubt, Rabban was a cool man. The Fremen even referred to him as Mudir Nahaya, or demon ruler, when he acted as Cividar governor. But is a cool man stupid? On the one hand, it was the Baron who requested his cruelty, first to squeeze spice, and later for Rabban to act as his scapegoat. On the other hand, cruelty only creates a brittle kind of loyalty from one's subjects, which a smart man would have realized. Thus, I finished my character study of Beast Rabban, a much maligned character from the Dune universe, gifted administrator and lovable rogue. No, Rabban is a truly dreadful character, who knows no bounds on his depravity, but considering him a stupid tank brain as the Baron would is not correct. Rabban is insecure and prefers brawn over using his brains, yet within certain confines he is an adequate administrator and able to cooperate with his temporary allies, the Emperor Sardaukar. If this were a Game of Thrones channel, I would already title this video, Is Rabban Plotting with Emperor Shaddam? Furthermore, Rabban is capable of understanding his greatest problem, the Fremen, before the Baron can. It is just that he is incapable of dealing with them. I understand why the 3 adaptations of Dune have portrayed him as a one-dimensional villain. It is simpler for the narrative, but the truth is a little different. Considering the 2021 Dune movie already contains a scene with the Baron, in which he requests Rabban to squeeze for spice, I fear we won't see much more of Dave Bautista's Rabban, other than the obligatory death scene. And that is a shame. Rabban was an integral part of the Baron's scheme to immunize himself from the Emperor's wrath and also make a ploy for the throne. An attempt that was never going to work considering the ease with which the Fremen destroyed the Harkonnen army. Something Rabban could have told the Baron had the latter listened more carefully. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the Beast Rabban. Please click the like button if you did. That way the YouTube algorithm will look favorably on my video. If you want to see more Dune content, please subscribe to my channel.